What's up again, YouTube? Wise Guy here, and first and foremost, for those who watched my first review on the Steel Series Arctis 7P, thank you so much for your likes, your comments, your views, and all that kind of stuff. My first ever review, so trying to build on that one, kind of learn from that one. Today, though, I am super excited because today we get to take our first impression at the PS5 controller, the Dualsense. It's finally available. Picked mine up from Best Buy today. So disclaimer, PlayStation did not send me this like they've sent consoles to and such to everyone else, because not really in the field like that yet, I guess. But we can take a look at this. Very excited. I'm extremely excited for this controller, first and foremost. I'm excited for the console. The PS5 comes out in about 2 weeks, or just under 2 weeks, so 13 days from the day I'm recording this. So today is the 30th. So yeah, 2 weeks from yesterday, which was Thursday. Before I begin, for those who pre-ordered your PS5s from Best Buy specifically, and I'm going to just focus on the PS5 for this, check your emails, because Best Buy sent you guys an email asking you to schedule an appointment to pick it up on November 12th between 6 and 9 a.m. If you want to do it like that, it'll be an hour before they open the store, so there's no rush or anything. You can set up an appointment. So check your emails for that. If you don't see it in your main inbox, check your spam. It may have went through there, but that may help a lot of people avoid any kind of rush, because they're going to be selling PS5s on November 12th in store, and there's going to be a line, and so you may get stuck in line. So just avoid the rush if you can. COVID and everything, and avoid getting robbed for that matter, because let's be real, guys, right? All right. So let's dive into this. The Dualsense Wireless Controller. I love the packaging off the bat. I think it's very premium. You see this with a lot of like PC type stuff, which is a full box. The DualShock 4s, they look like action figures the way they were packaged. They had the plastic encasing, so you can see the controller. This, I love the fact that it's in its own box. As you can see, if this zooms in, will this zoom in? As you can see, for PS5. Right, so unfortunately, I still have to wait 2 weeks to use this thing, which kind of sucks, but it's okay. I'm certain the wait will be worth it. So we can't do a full review on the controller as far as the haptic feedback and the adaptive triggers and everything, the mic and all that kind of stuff, but we can definitely take a look at the feel and just the build of it. Contents, we'll go through the rest of the box. Contents, the controller is inside. Wow, this thing just does not want to zoom. There you go, the controller is inside. And then, as you can see, for PlayStation 5, for the tower, and on the back has all the features, the haptic feedback, the adaptive triggers, the microphone on the controller, which is a bit of a game changer, to me at least, and then of course the comfort, and we will go into that. So let's open this. Another disclaimer, for photo purposes, I actually opened this already, so you can see I have the tear in the box. Be careful, because PlayStation is doing a thing where it's boxes in boxes this year, and I don't get it, but hey man, whatever works. So again, inside, when you open the box initially, there's like a little tab, so you can pull the box outside of the box. So that was kind of what got me earlier, because I was trying to open this thing, and I thought it was like the lid for it or whatever, but it was actually the box. So you pull this, there's like a little tab inside, it's kind of built sideways, and voila, you got a bag. And inside the plastic bag is the Dualsense 5. The Dualsense. Did I say Dualsense 5? The Dualsense. I think I'm so used to DualShock 4 and all that. So immediately out of the bag, this feels incredibly comfortable, guys. It's a bit bigger than the DS4, the DualShock 4. Definitely a lot fuller in that sense. Feels a lot more just fuller in your hands. The way your hands can, my hands at least, kind of be able to wrap around it comfortably. Really wish they added back pedals, because that's the thing for a lot of controllers. So it'll be interesting to see how, like the Scuffs of the world, or if the Astro comes out with another controller, how they will utilize, how they will kind of make a build like this. But this feels completely comfortable. It feels completely comfortable. It feels completely full in my hands. I wish I was able to try out the adaptive triggers and haptic feedback, kind of get a feel for that, because that's supposed to add the immersion from a feel sense of perspective. But yeah, immediately this looks great. I mean, compared to the DS4, the DualShock 4, the handles kind of fall short of my hand. So you kind of really holding on to the handle part of it, and kind of everything else kind of laying on the grip itself. Whereas with the DualSense, you really have a full grip of the controller. It's very reminiscent to me more of the Xbox controller, which is weird. Just the way I'm able to grip it, the handles go all the way down. This controller feels full in itself, the way my fingers are kind of positioned. The only difference with the Xbox controller is just the overall body is a bit longer, right? But the DualSense really kind of goes at that, so that's kind of cool. So we'll go a little bit of features. The buttons, I'm really digging the plastic buttons with the clear plastic buttons, the clear plastic face buttons. There we go. Had to say that 5 times fast, right? The way the buttons look and everything, it's very kind of flush with the controller. I love the black and white theme. I think it looks very premium, looks very luxury in that regard, and it really caters towards what PlayStation is trying to do with their console release and the design of the console. Like the DualShock, the DualSense. I have to get used to that, guys. The DualSense is the next level, the next step forward, right? We're not seeing the DualShock like we did from the 3 to the 4. We're seeing the next level PlayStation. I like the fact that Sony's doing that. So the PlayStation 1 is just the logo itself. There we go. It's just logo itself. Press that, and you have the light. I like the way the light is very subtle in the border of the touchpad. It's not as loud as, it's not as loud as the light bar was for the PS4. The joysticks feel great. They feel very similar to what the DualShock was. To me, they feel slightly smaller, if that's even possible. But one of the best parts, and this will zoom in, and if you can see it, it's the joysticks are textured on a DualSense. You can see that pretty clear. But the joysticks are textured, right? So you see a little bit. You can see a texture on it, and that's just to add more grip and more control in joysticks. They feel smooth. They feel very smooth. They're not super restrictive, not super loose. Everything. Whereas on the DualShock, it's a lot looser. On the DualShock 4, the buttons on the interesting part, the buttons on the DualSense, they seem to be a little bit more sunk in, so it's not as prominent. You can see it's not as prominent, say, as on the DualShock, where it's a little bit more raised. And I mean, to the naked eye, it's gonna look the same, but you can, to me, I see a little bit of a difference. But they feel tactile to me, or fairly tactile to me. The touchpad feels just fine. I like the way it's flush with the rest of the body. So before, on the DualShock, the touchpad was very noticeable. It's just a huge black bar. Whereas this year, it's completely flush with the rest of the body of the controller. The adaptive triggers, you can just feel off the bat that these are going to be a thing. These are going to be something pretty useful, or the way that there's a purpose for the R2 and L2 buttons as far as the adaptive triggers. And again, we'll see that when we get to PS5 in 2 weeks and how that feels. Whereas this is a bit more looser to me. So kind of going through more of it. The 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So on that note, for those with the 3D audio, you don't have to buy the Pulse 3D headphones if you don't want to. You can use the headphones you already have. So you have a HyperX. I just got a SteelSeries 7P, as you guys see in the review. So I'm going to be using that for the PS5. But if you have Turtle Beach, if you have HyperX, if you have other headphones, you can just plug it in and you'll still get the 3D audio. PlayStation Blog had a whole thing about it just recently, saying you don't have to worry so much about buying the Pulse 3D headset, where you'll still get the 3D audio. And as someone who's used 3D audio in a couple of games, not probably to the extent that PS5 is going to do it, and we'll see how that is, it's very detailed surround sound. I mean, to me, that's the best way to explain it. Again, everyone's going to have their view on it, but that's just how I kind of saw it, how I kind of experienced it, at least. I used it with Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice the other night on my SteelSeries, and just for the way the voices were, just trying to hear, hearing voices in your head, almost literally. From different directions, behind you, in front of you, and all this kind of stuff, hearing whispers and such. So it's very detailed surround sound. So if you have a HyperX, I have a pair of Cloud Alphas I use normally, and those should work just as fine. So don't stress if you can't find 3D audio headphones, you will be okay with it. And you can just plug it in. You plug in 3.5 millimeter jack here. If you have USB audio, you're going to be just as well. Just plug the USB-A, if not USB-C, right into the PS5, and you should be okay. And so the microphone for the controller, which is right here, this little thing, this little hole right here is the microphone. You can mute it, unmute it with this little button here. And yeah, so you have your share, there's your share button, your create button, right? And then your options, start button, so yeah, overall I really want my PS5 already. Honestly, I want to be able to use this thing. It's going to be sitting here it'll be sitting in the bag for the next 2 weeks, just kind of not collecting dust, hopefully. And cool because like now me and the wife can play on the PS5, so we have 2 controllers, which is why I got an extra one, not just for the review, did it for the wife. This video is not sponsored by the wife, but also is kind of sponsored by the wife. So, but yeah, so I'm very impressed by this. Very, very impressed by the controller. I love the feel of it. This is going to be absolutely awesome to use once the PS5 comes in. And with that said, we will be doing the next review is probably going to be the first next gen console, which will be the Xbox Series S coming in about just under 2 weeks, about a week and a half from now. So we'll be doing a live unboxing. So check out YouTube, check out this page for the live unboxing and the first boot up of the Xbox Series S on YouTube, Facebook, maybe Twitch, all under WiseGuy24. I will leave the links in the bio below. Again, all comments are welcome. Let me know how I can do better. This is only my second review, so trying to build on the first. So if you have any suggestions or if you have a Dualsense, let me know what you think in the comment section below. And again, guys, I will catch you later. I cannot wait to use this. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to use this thing. Oh, I'm excited.